Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. You might hear my dog, one of them, snoring in the background, so that'll be good background. And then my other one is currently slurping out of her dog dish, so, good background noises. Well, hello and happy first of the year to you. Happy January 1st, 2025. Whoop, whoop. It's a new year. It's a new year. Whoop, 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 whoop. Do the running man, the running man, the running run, and superstar, superstar, superstar. And I've never known how to Dougie. I don't even know what the Dougie is. Do the Dougie. Do the Dougie. I have to look that up. But anyway, insert your own dance move here. So happy New Year to you. How was your New Year's? How many of you are hungover? Is anybody hungover? Are you feeling, did anybody go out? Did you stay in? Did you hang out with family? Did you hang out on your own? What did you do? Did you have to work? Shout out to everybody who worked last night and worked this morning. I always have Wednesday off, so it's not that I got the day off. It's that Wednesdays are always my day off. So, but shout out to those of you, especially like first responders, having to deal with, unfortunately, sadly, I'm sure, some not good things that happen, like drinking and driving and fights and things like that. So shout out to first responders and doctors and caregivers and just anybody that works on holidays and stuff that's out there. Shout out to you. And if you had to wake up the next morning and go to work, you are a superstar, and I hope you have an awesome day. So, it's a new year. Are we excited? I am. Like I said before, I'm happy to have the countdown. We're closer and closer to getting rid of the old and in with the tried and true of Trump and Vance, and get some new people in and shake things up. We're going to stir things up here in America. Hopefully get some things done. But aside from that, yesterday I got to hang out with my grandkids, and we got to go to like an indoor arcade type of place. It has like laser tag and bowling and go-karts and games and things like that, and an indoor play area. So we went to that for a while, and it's hilarious because you can spend like an obscene amount of money on having them play games, but there was this indoor like playground kind of type of area that doesn't cost anything, and that is what they ended up wanting to play in most of the time, which was great because they actually got to run around and be active and tire themselves out, which is perfect. So, but they had such a good time. But it cracks me up because you know how like you can spend a ton of money on kids and they usually like the box. They want to make a fort out of the box. I used to make forts out of boxes. God, that was so fun. And like making forts in general, where you take blankets and you drape them over the couch and over the counter and over the coffee table. And if you have a box, then you make a house out of a box. And like, it was the coolest thing to have boxes and like make forts and stuff. I used to also like have be on one side of the couch and my kids would be on the other, and we would take stuffed animals and we would like basically play like where you take shelter, one gets one side of the couch, one gets the other, and you try to throw stuffed animals at each other. And so you're throwing stuffed animals back and forth and you're like dodging stuffed animals. It's kind of like dodgeball, but with stuffed animals. And then the couch gets to be like your barrier. We did stuff like that. And we used to go outside and for real stomp in mud puddles. We would get our rain boots on and we would play in rain puddles. Because when you're from the coast, especially like the coast in Oregon, there are a lot of rainy days. And if you stay inside every time it rains, well, you're never going to go outside. You're going to be inside all the dang time. So you just learn to bundle up and get, rain gear. And we would go on hikes out in the middle of the woods. And again, it didn't matter if it was raining. It was fun because different animals came out in the rain and you see different things in the rain and everything looks so lush. And some of the trails were off in the woods. So the branches provided a lot of shelter from the rain. So you didn't even get really rained on. It was pretty cool. And then we lived around where there are like bunkers. So we would go like play in the bunkers, which were haunted, by the way. I have some really awesome footage and sounds from Fort Stevens and stuff. But you can go play out in the bunkers and there's bike trails and stuff. So we would ride our bikes and it was just nice. And it's funny because now that I'm an adult, I'm a big baby. I'm like, I don't want to go out in that shit. I'm like, oh, it's raining. Like if it's warm out and it's raining, that's a different story. I'll go out in the rain if it's warm. Like if I'm in the jungle and it's raining, that's amazing. I ended up getting a phone call and I know that I was discussing good gravy. Oh, rain. Rain is great. Playing outside in the rain. I wonder how many people still do that. Do you guys do that? Do you go outside? Again, now I'm becoming a baby and now I don't tolerate the rain. If it's cold rain, I don't tolerate it like I used to. I look outside. I like it when I'm inside. I love a good storm. I loved living on the coast and the big storms that we would get. We don't really get them here. I love a good thunder and lightning storm. Love that so much. We don't really get the wind and rainstorms here, and really not thunder and lightning very often either. It's kind of a bummer. But what I don't like is driving in on an unknown road, a road that I've only traveled on one other time. I don't see well at night. I cannot stand driving at night. And then you throw rain on top of it. And then you throw the fact that I've only driven on this road one time and it's just a super unfamiliar road at night when I can't see when it's raining. I had to do that yesterday and my butt was puckering the entire ride home. I was so stressed. I was gripping the steering wheel so hard that I had like marks and my hands were like crippling, like I had to like pry them off of the steering wheel when I finally got to a stretch of the road closer to home that I was comfortable with. But I went to go visit my grandkids and my son yesterday. And like I said, we were playing at like an indoor arcade that was kind of like in between both of our houses. And getting there, I took a highway that I'm very familiar with that I drive all the time. And if I would have driven that home, it wouldn't have bothered me because I'm used to it. But it had me go a different route home. And oh my God, the fog line was barely painted. The lines needed to be repainted severely. You could barely see the lines on the road. The glares from everybody else's headlights were driving me crazy. But it was raining. It was just, my butt was puckered tight. My hands were gripping the steering wheel. I was sweating. I had to turn on music and just like sing, sing, sing. And I loved when there was a car in front of me because I could follow it. But I don't like cars following me because the light from their headlights bother me. So I have to like put my rear view mirror up because the glare of their lights bother the heck out of me. Not to mention the fact I get stressed out because I'm like, don't follow me. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. You do not want to be behind me right now. I am not the safe one to be behind. And I'm going to be annoying. I'm going to probably drive a lot slower than you want me to be driving because I can't see. And so I had to pull over and let these people in front of me go in front of me. and then just kind of follow them. But holy crap, driving in the rain is not my cup of tea. Again, it's not as bad when it's a stretch of road that I know and I've driven a million times, but this was not. And it was windy. It was not, our taxpayers, we are taxpayers, and our tax money is supposed to be going to keeping our roads safe. And around here, there are roads that have so many freaking potholes, like a million potholes, like severe ones, like bad ones that actually like sound like they fuck up your car. And they do a terrible job at painting the lines. Like it's insane because there's an area that they're retarring. It looks like they're kind of like retarring the asphalt on the road. And because they're doing that, there are like no lines on the road. And then the way that the street lights and the tar and the retarring and then like where the old lines used to be, and then it looks like where they started taking off the old lines, and then there's like it's so weird, but you can't tell where the fuck you're going. Like you have no idea what lane you're in or where you're driving. At night, it's the worst because of the glare, because of the tar, because of how they've um, took off the old lines. It's just a hot mess. And they want you to drive without getting in a car accident. They want you to know where the hell you're going. And our tax money, our tax dollars are supposed to go toward fixing these things. And, being able to see where you're going is pretty fucking important. It's pretty important to have lines for us to be guided by, especially at night, especially in the rain. It's kind of important. And we pay for that shit. Where is it going? Oh, I know. It's going to illegal aliens. We have to make sure they have cell phones. We have to make sure the illegal aliens have what they need before us tax-paying citizens can drive without getting into a car accident. How many of our lives is it going to take in exchange for an illegal alien cell phone? It's ridiculous. So the drive home was crazy stressful, and I was not down with it. I feel like an old lady because I just can't drive at night anymore. Again, it's fine when I know the roads, but oh God. I was like, please, Lordy, let me see 2025. Please let me see 2025. And speaking of that, seeing 2025 and not dying, I started thinking about this on the way home because my brain was going bananas, and I was listening to music, and then I was trying to listen to a podcast, and I was listening to Morbid. And Morbid is like a true crime podcast. And they were discussing the murder of this gal named Cheryl and how her husband did it. And I'm like, it's pretty fucking sad and crazy to me that when you get married or when you have a partner that you live with and you choose to sleep next to that partner, you're choosing to close your eyes and be in a very, very vulnerable state where your guard is down because you're asleep. And you have to trust that the person laying next to you isn't going to murder you. You have to trust that that person isn't going to be slowly poisoning you, poisoning your food. That person isn't going to know that you have a life insurance policy and then hire somebody to kill you. Like, what the fuck? We should not have to worry about these things. These are not things that we should have to worry about people that we trust. We're supposed to be able to trust our partners. We're supposed to be able to sleep soundly, trust that they're not poisoning us, and trust that they love us more than our insurance policy, that they love us more than money. And sadly, there are many, many shows and podcasts out there that prove otherwise, that spouses, that partners love money or get jealous, love another partner more than the one that they're living with, and have someone else kill them or they kill them. That is insane to me. No one should have to worry about that. I know that seems like a weird thing to listen to calm your nerves when you're driving and you're already freaking out and you're gripping the steering wheel and you're having a freaking panic attack. It's like, oh, to calm my nerves, let's listen to true crime. I think that's a woman thing. Women do that a lot. We watch Snapped and we watch true. We could fall asleep. We could seriously fall asleep to true crime stuff. It's a weird. Does that make us insane? Does that make us crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make you crazy? Probably. Or is it possibly? Anyway. Yeah, so I was thinking about that on the way home. The things that go through your head. I mean, in all honesty, it's because I was listening to more, but it didn't just like pop into my head because I'm a sociopath or anything. It's just a weird thing. I'm like, why would anybody have to worry about that? We should not have to, like, I mean, I think most of us don't. I don't know what the statistics are. I'm not sure what this Biden moment. I don't know what the statistics are on crime with partners. I don't want to say spouses because it's not always that they're married. Sometimes it's their boyfriend, girlfriend, but it's a lot because there's a whole show called Snapped, and that's just women killing. Well, no, actually, Snapped is not just about women killing men. It's about both, but it's insane to me that there are many podcasts and shows about it. Now, granted, they're not all talking about different people. Like sometimes they cover the same person, but that's a lot of crime. That's a lot of people snapping. That's a lot of snapping going on. Anyway, these are the things that are on my brain. I should be thinking about a lot more positive, happy-go-lucky things, right? I mean, I do. I really do. I do think about a lot of positive, happy-go-lucky things. Honestly, I don't just sit around getting pissed off about politics and getting pissed off about our government and crazy over-the-top lefties or anything like that. I really don't. I'm a good person, dang it. I really am. I love animals. I love people. I do love people. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are or what you identify as. I don't care what country you're from, what political affiliation or sexual orientation. I don't care about any of that. I care about if you're an asshole or not. If you're not an asshole, great. If you're an asshole, I won't like you. I mean, it's really that easy. But I do appreciate so much. I'm getting a lot of listeners from Portland and Salem and Canada, which shocks the bejeebies. I actually get a lot of listeners from a lot of very predominantly liberal areas, which gives me mad respect because either you're listening because you happen to be living in a really liberal area but aren't liberal yourself, or you are liberal, but you are listening to all points of view. You're listening to people that maybe have different points of view than yourself, or maybe there's some things you agree with me on, and others that you don't. But whatever it is, hats off to you. Cheers to you, because I think that's amazing. If you're listening, even though you don't agree with anything I say, but you're just trying to have a different perspective, I have mad respect for you. So thank you. But no matter why you're listening, no matter the reason, I just appreciate the fact that you're listening. Thank you so very much. I appreciate every single one of you that takes the time to listen to my podcast when you have a million other options and you have so many other things to do with your time and in your day. So thank you for taking the time to hear me out. Happy New Year to you. May it bring peace. May it bring new experiences. May it bring laughter. And stay safe out there. Until next time.